Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to assemble a model kit, and I'm also here to hang out with all of you. I am recording great. Before we get in there, I'm going to throw the VerKa, the Lego, the site, the tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. And if you feel like just lurking and you don't want to say anything else or say anything at all, well, you can do that too. It's all right. It's okay. I'll be okay. I do like it when people chat, but also you don't have to. It's a Saturday, and we are continuing to work on the Narrative Gundam Master Grade B-Packs VerKa. Part of the VerKa is the fact that there is armor on here that we have not assembled yet, because that armor needs to go on. It's clear, and it goes on last for reasons that I don't understand. But also, it's the B-Packs. We haven't done any of the B-Packs yet. We'll get to it. It'll be okay. We will put a B-Packs on this thing so that it looks cool and has a big backpack. Let's go to the overhead camera here. Oh, before I do that, I'm currently at 21 subscribers. My goal is to get up to 30. I will stop talking about how many subscribers I have when I hit 30 subscribers, but right now it is what it is. Main feed, boom, here we go. There we are. You can see we've got basically the top half of this kit done. We do have the core lander here that is connected now and kind of just lives and hangs out in there, which is fun. So we got the core lander hanging out as the core fighter, I should say, as like part of our torso. We got the top half of our kit done, other than the stuff that we're going to do later that is clear pieces that we'll have to add in later. We got one whole leg done. Got a whole ding-dang leg done here. We got a pretty good amount of bend, a lot of movement on this leg. So you can see that there. Got some stuff moving around here. This pops out if you need to pop out. And then you can really move this leg around, which is nice. And again, there'll be more stuff that goes on here that is clear, that looks like this. Which... I think this current setup with this current light, yes, other than a brief on Thursday, this lighting and this camera, we have not used clear plastic before. I'm very excited about that. There's another thing I'm excited about, and of course it won't be perfect because nothing is perfect, but like you can see a little bit here on this, my background removal's looking really good. I'll be talking about this for days now. This is immediately better. I am using my graphics card because I have an NVIDIA graphics card. I'm using that graphics card to remove my background, and it looks better than it did on a graphics card that is 3 generations older than this one, right? Yeah. 3, 4, yes. So, crazy. Have I noticed a huge jump between my 2060 and my 5060? Well, I've only had this computer running for like a couple hours with the 5060 in it. So no, there is a bottleneck to see, there are 2 bottlenecks to see tremendous benefit from having a much better graphics card. One is my main computer, the SSD that I've got, it needs to be upgraded. It needs to get replaced and become just a storage device. That does need to happen. Let's get started while we're talking. That does need to happen. I do need to eventually replace that, and I have not yet done that, and that's going to be very expensive. So I just haven't done it yet, but I do need to. That is the thing I need to do. And the other bottleneck I have is to really appreciate the high performance that this 5060 is going to be able to give my system. I got to use the monitor that I can do 40p on, which I'm not right now. Right now, I'm not using it like that. Right now, this is 1920 by 1080. And so I should make that look dazzling. It's a weird thing that my third monitor is my best monitor, but these 2 monitors that are my main monitors are identical. They're identical makes and models, and one I've used slightly longer than the other, but they are the same, and this one is not the same, but it's better. But also the mounting parts on this one are not the same as these, so I couldn't swap one of them. The mounting bracket, instead of the mounting bracket being like on the middle of it, like they are on mine, or a little higher than the middle, they're at the bottom. So they don't work with the monitor stand that I have. So they only work with the one it came with, which is fine. That's fine. So it makes the most sense for it to be off to the side. But that does cause an issue. And that issue is, of course, I don't want to really game on the monitor that I have to turn here. I watch video on it sometimes because I can turn my whole chair and put my feet up on the end of my bed and then watch like that and kind of lean back and relax. So I often watch video on there when I'm not doing other things, when it's focused. So I could move my whole, swivel and use this as a monitor for gaming. Obviously wouldn't work for what I'm doing here. I could game on it, but I would be like this and not looking at you. If I streamed a game on it, that I could do that. I have not obviously ran a video game while this is going. An interesting test for my new setup here, the altered setup, not necessarily new, but altered setup, will of course be this coming Thursday, where I most likely will be running some old wrestling. Now, obviously, old wrestling stuff isn't going to look great, but they're large files, and they'll be running in VLC, and I'm interested to see how all that works. I also, even though I don't want to play the video game, I am interested in running WWE 2K25, because you may remember that when I ran WWE 2K25 and I was running games live, on 2 occasions, the stream just, my computer completely froze, which obviously, as you're well aware, is bad. That's a bad thing. And that was running the game, running OBS at the same time, and streaming. That was just not good. And I did chalk that up to it being an issue with, sorry, I'm going to look for L21 or L31. That's why I can't find it. I did chalk that issue to being a problem with the power supply, which was underpowered for what I'm doing on this computer. Now I have a better power supply, so that it might have worked since, but I haven't tried it. But I would like to try it with the new graphics card and see how that runs. The major problem with that is, one, I don't want my computer to fucking freeze, so I wouldn't run like a full stream. I would run a test bed, basically, or a test stream, I should say. So I would run a test stream to see how that works, where people don't know I'm live, but it treats it like I'm live, and run it like that. And the other thing is, I don't want to download WWE 2K25. It's a lot of fucking gigabytes to run it as a test. So I have not run it. I do have an interest in running that test, but not enough right now anyway to actually do the thing. I did run Nubby's Number Factory with all the bells and whistles turned on. Not that Nubby's Number Factory is a lot, but in the higher levels, when you have a bunch of flashy bullshit happening, it can kind of overwhelm the screen with a bunch of bullshit, and that looked good. So even at 1080p, Lashbrook Lashbrook threw the emotes in the chat. If anybody else is here that is a subscriber, you could also throw emotes in the chat. That'd be good. I'd love that. If you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. And also, if you're not a subscriber and you don't have cool emotes to throw in there, then you don't have to. You can use other people's emotes or just say hi if you wanted to say hi. So yeah, I have not put anything through its paces yet. I have an interest in doing so, certainly, and seeing what's going on. I'd like to see what's up with everything, but I have not Really good. How's your evening? It's going well. Thank you, Game That Tune. I almost said Game That Thune, which is not what your name is. But that would be a good name. That would be a good name for comedian, musician Nick Thune. If Nick Thune wanted to do a music-inspired game, you know, because he is musically inclined, he could call that Name That Thune, and that would be pretty good. I haven't thought about Nick Thune in a while. It's got a good mouthfeel, that name. Also, Nick's a good guy. But yes, welcome, Game That Tune. I'm doing well. I was talking a little bit about how I got a new graphics card, and again, it's not gonna like change my life, but it is due to the fact that the world is hell and everything is fucked. This is the first time I've ever had a graphics card that is like the modern generation. It's because 600 or 6,000 cards haven't come out, right? Like 6,000 cards should have come out, and me having a 5,000 card shouldn't be the thing. And obviously 5060, there's so many better 50s that I could get, right? That's the low end there. But again, I went from a 2060 to a 5060. That's a fucking increase. That's a whole goddamn thing. That's a jump. That is a jump and a leap. Now, okay, so that's gonna go like that. Okay, all this. I think I've done all of this properly. We'll find out later. But I think I've done all this right. Wait, that goes like that. Yeah, because does this work? I don't know. There's like a piece. I'm like looking at this now and I'm like, what's that? Like, what? Is this supposed to slide in there? And I can't. Yeah, I think I might have done something weird here. You just got a 4060 and it's significantly increased for me. It feels good. Yeah. I feel okay. We'll go like that. Okay, if I do that, the problem is this thing is already like built and done, so I can't even really look at it to go like, did I do something wrong here? But this feels wrong. Like this, the way this moves doesn't feel right. So I think I did something wrong. So I'm gonna just disassemble everything and see what's up. I'm gonna get my spudger out here. So I did go, as I said, I went from a 2060 to a 5060. The 2060 was great for me. It was part of this system, this pre-built that I purchased, which was again on the low end when I got it, as far as like what was modern and new, but it was still a big upgrade for me because my previous graphics card was a 980, which at the time was great for me because I went from a 600, I think, 600 series. It's like a 660, I think I went from, to a 980. And that was like a fucking leap. That was like, for me, goddamn crazy that I had like that much power. I still have that in a drawer somewhere because by the time I finished with it, I'm like, I've had this for so long. Also, I should say, my 980 was a gift. That was somebody that was working for a company that had a bunch of computers they got rid of. And this person gifted me that machine. So I felt like I should keep it and not get rid of it because it was a gift. They were doing me a huge favor and making my life a lot easier. Okay. So I'm basically just going to do a lot of this again and see if it feels better when I do it again. Because as I said, this all felt weird and kind of not done. And if I have to take it back later, take it apart later, it's gonna be worse. So yeah, my 960 was doing great. Now it was showing its age on some stuff, and I felt like it was time to make the upgrade. You know, a little bit of money was basically put in my way, set my way to be like, hey, you know, for your birthday next month. So it was a 50-50. And so I paid for half. Okay, so that goes in there. That already makes me feel better because now this is in a place it should be. That goes like that. And then this goes here. This goes here, and this goes here. Yeah, okay. All right, this is already better. I'm now definitely feeling like I did some stuff on this wrong. So I'm already feeling better about how this is coming together. Because I don't want one leg to be weirder than the other leg. If both legs were messed up the same way, then that'd be one thing. But I wasn't doing that. All right, put my spudger away here. So yeah, you know, the 980 to the 2060, that was a huge leap, but as I said, I still have it. As far as my 2060, it's only been a couple years, so I certainly could sell it on the internet. I could do that. I have not made any plans to do that, but I could. Okay, so let's see now. How does this work? That goes like that, and then, yeah. Okay, no, so that snips off in a way that I don't like. So I could, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I could just sell it, but right now what I'm hoping is that somebody I know will want it. There's somebody out there that is looking for something that I can pay it forward and send to a friend or something. That would be that the 2060 would be a nice big upgrade. That is the hope anyway. All right, I'm not 100% sure that I did this correctly, but we're moving on as if I did, and then if I gotta fix some stuff, I'll fix some stuff. But I think this is correct. I think I've done this properly, and again, we'll see. L32 is gonna be here. Okay. Yeah. I do eventually I do want to get a replacement for my SSD, so I'm running off a faster SSD. I think that would be a huge help as well. That would be nice. And then, of course, I could probably this has one HDMI and two display ports on it. I am currently running DisplayPort to DVI to run DVI cables to these monitors, and then this monitor is HDMI 2.1, I think. And so I should look around. Maybe I should be, you know, running. I have two DVI. I have two display to DVI adapters, and I like those. But it's like I should look at these monitors and see what's going on there. I don't think I should run display to HDMI out to those, but maybe there is a better way than going through DVI to get these to look nicer. I don't know. Maybe I should be going display to this monitor. I actually can't remember what it has as far as those options go, so it's another thing I can look into. But yeah, like I said, I've got options, and I should just figure those out. Do they have any fancy refresh rates? So the new monitor I have, I believe, has a pretty okay refresh rate. I wouldn't call it like fancy. Let me look here. Let me go to that. I can tell you that the Asus monitors that I have here do not have fancy refresh rates. Let me look up my. Let me go to my orders here because I think I'm pretty sure I bought this on Amazon. This one. So if I look for San Sui, let's see. Yes. This monitor, 1080 computer FreeSync, 400 contrast, HDMI to port investment mount, HDMI cable included. Okay, so this does have a display port mount, so I could go that. Yeah, I mean, it's a under 60 hertz gaming monitor. It's not like it has 160 hertz refresh rate, which is good. You know, I'm not going to be like, this is, you know. Yeah, okay, so this one doesn't have DVI. It has the HDMI, and it has a DP port. So, let me just look this up here. Display port to display port. Yeah, I should probably just get some, like, DisplayPort to DisplayPort cables and just run all of that. I think. I don't know. You know what? That's a great question for me to ask. That is a good question for me to ask test it. Does it make any sense for me to buy DisplayPort cables, or is it okay to go HDMI out, you know? Like, should I be buying DisplayPort cables? Like, I don't know. I don't have an answer, right? I actually don't even know if these other monitors, sorry, I know I've stopped here, but now I really want to just check out my, let's see here. I don't even remember what these Asus, yeah. I'm literally just looking up my monitors. Okay. So these monitors don't have, okay, so two of my monitors don't have display. So it would just be that one. Did the monitor not come with any? So the monitor that I have, the new monitor that I have, came with an HDMI cable, which is I was using because my previous the 2060 that I was using, that 2060 has HDMI, DVI, and display out. So I was running two display out to my main monitors here, but display to DVI because they take DVI, and I was running HDMI that was included, the cable, from this one, because the third monitor, as I mentioned, the third monitor is not on my stand. The third monitor is not like far away, but it is farther away than other things. So the HDMI cable ran better than anything else, and so I just did that. But would it make more sense to run with a display to display? Because I do have room for it. I have 3 display ports on the 5060, so I could, if I wanted to, run that instead. But I don't know if it would be better or not. So I will have to, so like I said, I might have to ask somebody and see what they say. Okay, so that's gonna go like that. Yeah, all right. I think I'm doing this leg properly. It was 2 days ago that I did the other leg, but I don't know. I'm second guessing myself on a lot of this, which is odd, but also not, unfortunately for me, not that odd. I think if you want to start doing variable refresh rate stuff, you have to go over DisplayPort. Okay, yeah. And like I said, so the thing is, my third monitor is the best monitor I have, and it is the monitor that I do Discord on and OBS on. And like, but also, it probably should be the monitor that I'm like capturing footage on. But then I do run video on it. Like I said, I do turn my whole body and my chair over if I want to do video stuff. And it's good for that. But, you know, I don't know. I do think that I should at some point. Oh, like my other monitors, I should get monitors that have DisplayPort out, you know? That's like just a thing, right? Like I should definitely be doing that, and I haven't, but because they work, they both work, right? The monitor that died on me here, the third monitor that died, that monitor was like a used monitor that I got from somebody, and it worked fine for my purposes. And then it finally crapped out. But I don't want to get rid of monitors that I don't need to get rid of, you know. But I probably should get monitors that have DisplayPort in, and then just run DisplayPort cables. I probably should do that. But I do want to get I don't know. I also just haven't sent an email. I haven't sent a question in to Brad and Will in a while, so maybe I'll just do that. I'll send an email. It'll be the end of the month before they get back to me, but also, like, I also might just get a DisplayPort cable just to have a DisplayPort cable and just to see how that goes instead of running the HDMI cable on this monitor. I don't know. I should game on this monitor when I'm not doing streams. Like, streams that are, you know, gaming that is just for me. I should probably do that. We'll talk in the second hour about some video games, because I was playing a video game that I'm not going to stream because there's just so much music in it, and I don't want to, like, I know a friends who are like, yeah, I'm just not putting the VOD up on YouTube because it's not worth it. And I was like, okay, yeah. But this, you know, it's like, Twitch was fine, but I did hear, you know, like I said, one of my friends, Twitch was fine on Mixtape, but another friend said that their archive was muted on Twitch. So if the Twitch archive is muted and the YouTube archive is just going to get DMCA'd, like, that to me isn't worth it. I will say, Mixtape is good. That's a good video game. Like, I'm not here to disparage that game. I'm just saying, like, I'm not looking for the smoke. You might be confusing me with somebody else who is looking for the smoke, but I'll tell you right now, I don't want the smoke. I'm not looking for that smoke. I do appreciate them sticking to their guns, though, because people were like, why isn't there a streamer-friendly mode? And they were like, we put all this music in it because it's music that means something to us, and we want it to be in the experience. So we didn't do a streamer mode. It's like, yeah, fair. It sucks for people that would want to stream the game, but yeah, all right. Stand by it, you know? Go for it. All right, we got some news stuff, some stuff here. Unfortunately, 2K has made some layoffs at 31st Union, which is not a union, it is a studio. They were working on a free-to-play shooter called Project Ethos, which has apparently not been canceled, but they did make some layoffs there. Let's see. They're downsizing in order to achieve a goal of their ability to work more quickly and nimbly, which is code for, we need you to work harder than you've been working, and also with less people on staff, which is never great. That's never great news to hear. That it's like, oh, we need you all to work harder, and there's less of you now. So, good fucking luck to everybody. Good luck to everybody there. You know, that's still there. Those is the people that were laid off. We don't know how many people that is. They also, I'll say this, that team had layoffs, but the last time they had layoffs was 2 years ago, which for a game studio has been a big corporation, more than 2 years in between layoffs is, unfortunately, that's pretty great. That's certainly not news to celebrate, but it is like, you know, so it's surprising. Project Ethos is kind of a mess, and maybe they should cut their losses and have that team move on to something else. And when I say cut their losses, I don't mean their losses being fire a lot of people and lay off even more people, but like, I don't know, maybe read the tea leaves. When people were still interested in those kinds of shooters and they hadn't found their forever shooter, they still weren't interested in that when it got revealed. So, yikes. Speaking of online shooters and failure, let's talk a little bit about Blind Fire. Blind Fire came out in October 2024. It's an online first-person shooter. And you're in the dark while you're doing it. Like I said, Blind Fire. That is 11. And there's a new update here. It's been a year since their last patch. As I said, this game did not hit. And they did, this is a year after the last update. They got a big update coming in. And that big update is having the game go free to play. And also a promise they're going to keep the servers on so that people can still play the game. The game is now called Blind Fire Lights Out, and it's free to download and play across console and PC. And they hadn't been working on the game for like a year, so it kind of came out of nowhere. It surprised people. But basically, they're just like, yeah, we want people, we're proud of this game, and we want people that have been sticking with us to keep playing it. We believe games are art and they deserve to be preserved, says 11 in a statement. We refuse to bury what we built just because things didn't go perfectly. We are keeping it alive because we are proud of it. You won't see adverts or marketing campaigns trying to drag you back in. This is just a gift to those who want to see what we created. 2 new weapons came in the update, some new achievements, and some skins that you can unlock. They also added a new audio aim assist. Because, and this is one of those things where you're like, oh, fuck, cool. I wish this game had taken off, because feedback that they had been getting is that partially sighted players and some blind players told the studio that Blind Fire was one of the first shooters they could truly compete in. So they added this new option that adds audio cues to help orient players and track down enemies. And that's fucking awesome. That's like really cool feedback, but it does make me wish this game had hit harder, right? Because that's cool shit. They worked on something really cool to help a community that built around their game, but unfortunately, like I said, the game didn't take off. But that's neat. I think that's cool. I understand why this doesn't happen more often with games that don't hit, but I would love to see more of that. I'd love to see that show up in other places, in other ways, and get more games out there. Kind of just being like, yeah, we're not going to keep working on it, but it's still going to exist. I don't know. I think that's neat. Let's see. I got an update to a story we talked about on Thursday. You may remember Thursday. We talked about how Iron Mouse said, like, hey, I'm not going to be doing streams. I was supposed to be using sponsored stuff for Neverness to Everness, but they've been using AI. I talked to them about that. They promised me they weren't, and there's no AI in it, and that it's very clear that they lied to me, so fuck this. I'm not doing it. There is an update here on Kotaku. I will give a smaller scale update that another streamer, certainly not one the size of Iron Mouse, but still someone that people know, Rin Primrose, basically did a in chatting with people said, so I was busy and got offered to do a cover of a song as part of a promotional campaign for a video game, but I was too busy with my re-debut. He recently redid their model and re-debuted as a streamer. And was so busy with that they said no to the opportunity to do a cover for this video game. And it turns out that video game was, of course, Neverness to Everness. And so dodged a bullet on that one. But basically it's just like, yeah, that would have been really fucked. So good on them. Anyway, the developers of Neverness to Everness are like, hey, we have a new patch, and we're getting rid of some of the stuff that you say is AI that got flagged as AI, and like, hey, so sorry about that. We're fixing it. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna make it better. We're so sorry about all this. Let's see. So Hada Games already reviewing and reworking the assets, but so one of the things that people looked at was there was a banner, this like billboard, right, and it had like a parody movie on it that looked a lot like the anime film Weathering with You, but it was like an AI, clearly AI generated. Like it's one of those things where like if this wasn't AI, then somebody did a very bad job, like tried to make it look like AI, like that kind of thing, where you're like, okay, either this is AI or you were very bad at this. So anyway, this was the one that people were like, this is clearly like, give me a Weathering with You, but made with AI, like prompt, like what are we doing here? They took it out. Lord Crashington just subscribed for 82 months. Thank you so much, Lord Crashington. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site. Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Thank Lord Crashington for the support. Thank you very much. Appreciate you, Lord Crashington. I don't want to ignore that while I continue to talk about this stuff, so I did want to give a shout out. Thank you for the support. That's many, many months. I appreciate you. So the AI image that the devs of Neverness to Everness took out, that they were like, oh, we're so sorry about that, we got a new image, is an AI generated image of a soda can. Like, it's very clearly also an AI image. They took out the offending image and replaced it with more AI bullshit. And it's just like, kind of incredible. Like, it obviously fucking sucks and they can go fuck themselves, Hoda Games, but like, that's kind of hilarious, right? It's not awesome, but it's kind of hilarious to be like, oh yeah, we're sorry about that. Anyway, here's more AI images. Let's see. They did take away the AI rendered short film that was in there. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But I had 2 bits of information to say in there, and so I did want to say that. Also, hey, I got another update. You may remember us talking about how Ryan Cohen, the CEO of GameStop, how Ryan wants to buy eBay and did like an insane interview that he was just like clearly didn't want to do, and also really didn't want a reporter like asking follow-up questions like, where would you get the money for that? How would you make that work? Because they were like, cash and stocks, and it'd be like, you don't have that though. You want to pay more money than than you have to buy a thing that's bigger than you. Why would you do that? Why would anyone want you to do that what are you talking about? And of course, didn't have any answers and was whatever. So that was like crazy. He's done another interview because apparently he did go to the board and didn't convince some people, shareholders, that this would be a good idea. Apparently has not made the necessary moves to make this work. We got to panel line this leg, and then we can start working on the waist, which is cool. Hasn't made this move. So talked with Sarah Needleman from Business Insider, and was just like, said one of the most insane fucking things, clearly there's not been vetted. Nobody talked to him about what he could say and not, and what he should say and not. It's just all crazy stuff. I should say, one of the reasons why he wants this deal is because he wants to get a huge fucking billions and billions of dollars if he can really increase the market share of GameStop. So he is working very hard to make GameStop a huge success, so he gets an insane payout. And apparently the way he figured out how to do that is, he thinks, is buying eBay. And, you know, he can leverage a bunch of nonsense and all that. I should also mention, he's banned from using eBay. That's a fun tidbit, because he was selling personal items on the GameStop eBay account and breached the terms of service for eBay previously. But that's not going to stop him. In this interview, he said, reminder, he is the CEO and has been since 2023. He joined the board in 2021, and then he became CEO in 2023. He said in this interview, I wasn't passionate about GameStop, the place he still works at. He said, I wasn't passionate about GameStop. I'm passionate about eBay. I believe in eBay's business. Again, the CEO of GameStop said in an interview, I'm not passionate about the place I'm the CEO of. It's fucking crazy. His bid for eBay, he doesn't have the cash. He offered $56 billion while only having $9.4 billion in assets. He's half cash, half option, stock option. And he's selling wares. He was selling some GameStop memorabilia and some stuff from the Game Informer vault. And it's basically just a stunt. Like, oh, look, I'm selling stuff on eBay. Again, he was banned on eBay for using, God, it's insane. Also, and this is important to remember, eBay is worth more money than GameStop, where GameStop has got rid of a lot of its stores and is not doing well. Yes, they banned his personal account. Yes. It's so fucking wild. It's so but like I said, it's like, you know, it's that thing, right? He wants to buy eBay with debts, right? And put debt on it that eBay has to pay back, a company that is not in the red. And then he can get a big bonus and feel like a big man. And it's like all transparent and obvious, and it is what it is. It's silly and stupid, but it is what it is. The part where he, in an interview, said, I've never been passionate about GameStop, the place he's the CEO of. Like, I've been a low-level employee of places. I've been a mid-tier employee of places. I've talked about stuff that I would like to see improve. I've never said, I don't have a passion for this place. Because they'd be like, well, then get the fuck out of here. What? That's crazy. It's wild. So much of this is fucking capital B bonkers. And it's nutso. But yeah, that when I read that, I was like, oh, I can't fucking wait to talk about that. That's just fucking crazy. That's just crazy. Good news, everybody. Double Fine is they are making steps to unionize within Microsoft. They will be the 14th gaming team at Microsoft to go for a unionization. And because the Activision deal, because of the, as many of you know, because of the Activision deal, Microsoft, in order to not get, which, you know, seemingly they might not have needed to do, but in the time when they were like, where people were mad about them buying Activision Blizzard King, one of the conversations of that was, hey, how do you feel about unions? And they were like, we take a hands-off approach. If people want to do that, that's how people want to organize. Like, yeah, all right, yeah. And that has led to them having a bunch of unions. Developers file a petition alongside a request for voluntary recognition, and that has happened in the past and should probably happen with this one. They filed with the National Labor Relations Board on May 7th on behalf of 42 regular and part-time workers. It's obviously a small company. First reported by Aftermath. This is, I'm reading a Kotaku article here. They're seeking election alongside a request for voluntary recognition by Microsoft. This is a union with the CWA to preserve and extend the studio's commitments to creative excellence, diversity and inclusion, and worker quality of life. In tandem with requesting voluntary recognition of the company, workers have filed an election petition with the National Labor Relations Board to secure union representation. We appreciate that Microsoft has taken a neutral approach and agree not to interfere in any way with workers' rights to organize unions. So yeah, basically, like I said, they have taken the stance in the past of hands off and being neutral and not actively fighting union stuff because they were trying to get that merger done, and then it's now precedent, and it's a bad look. So good luck to the fine folks at Double Fine. I hope you get some sweet ass union contracts and some protections from being laid off, but then also support if and when that happens at the company that certainly will lay off more people again in the future. But yeah, congrats to the Double Fine folks. That's cool shit. Happy to see that. I was happy when that story broke yesterday. Late day stuff. God, I forgot. I mean, like, I know because I know when the games came out, but it is still when put in such in terms. Double Fine has existed for 26 years because Tim Schafer founded it, like when he left LucasArts. Also, this is a standalone studio doing this instead of departments within studios, right? So this is also a big deal. This could lead like Undead Labs or other studios in there to go for it, which would be great. We'll see if Asha Sharma says anything dumb about it. Who knows? Maybe she will or maybe she won't. We'll see. But it's good shit. I don't pretend to know a lot about Takahashi Tezuka. I've obviously played video games that he has designed on. He is retiring after 42 years. He is the co-creator of Yoshi. executive officer, long time, stepping down, and they assume he's retiring, but maybe he's like we don't know if he's retiring. He's just not. He's stepping down from his position. He could go indie. I don't think he's going to at 65, but maybe he would. There's also the possibility that he moves into a different position within Nintendo, one that is not a designer at all, and he just goes into doing a different role there. We don't know. We don't know that. We don't have any information on it. But it is it was something that was like, oh shit, okay. He worked on Super Mario Brothers and Legend of Zelda. He was director of Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World. And of course, he co-created Yoshi. He was also attached to Animal Crossing, Zelda Wind Waker, Super Mario Galaxy 2, and had basically a supervisor on a bunch of stuff. And it seems like his final Nintendo credit, and in this job at least, job he had, is that he had a producer on the re-release of Super Mario Bros. Wonder. He's listed in the credits of that. But obviously a long, tenured career. So yeah. Don't know. If this 65-year-old man is like, yeah, I don't fucking want to make video games anymore, then good on him. Also, if he's just like, yeah, I don't want to make games, but I'm still going to work here because it's Nintendo. I'm going to stay working at Nintendo. Also, good on him. I like, either way he's going. I think like, hell yeah, do your thing. But yeah, kind of crazy. Was not something I expected to see when the news broke. Hello, Jushin. Welcome. One more news story. This one is, we will be talking about some anime in the second hour. I'll be talking about some shows that I'm watching. We do have a good new season of stuff out that people should check out. I do have one more gaming news story to get into here, but I just wanted to quickly talk about this because I thought this was nice. We talked about AI tonight. We always talk about, it seems like there's always something in the world of fucking AI that we need to chat about. But basically, there was a statement made by Chris Bourassa, who is the director of the Darkest Dungeon series. And somebody in their subreddit was kind of like spousing how like, oh, well, I guess you could use like AI if you wanted to have the narrator back because it's just like Wayne June passed away, the narrator of the game. Wayne June passed away. And so it's kind of tied, right? And apparently, shortly before his death, he said, okay, I changed my mind. If you wanted to, you could train AI in my voice. And they're like, we're not going to do that. Because in their minds, that's not him saying like, oh, hey, actually, I changed my mind about AI and I think AI is actually good. That's most likely him. That was him, in their opinion, not wanting to like, let's see, we never asked to do it. I think he was trying to put the game team fans first, offering us a way forward. I declined, and we donated to his family anyway. And that's great. Apparently, I didn't know this. This article is talking about some other instances where this has been used. Of course, you probably know about the Fortnite Darth Vader that was used AI that said a bunch of terrible, awful things because you could just have it say terrible, awful things. Also, apparently, the Polish language version, Vector, in the Polish language version of Cyberpunk 2077, used generative AI to mimic the voice of the actor who had apparently died of cancer in 2021. So when they had some updated lines, they used AI for that. And that obviously sucks. Yeah. Borasa said, I would never ever erode his incredible and timeless performances by teaching a machine to sound like him. His voice and delivery was human, and I'm forever grateful I got to write for him. So yeah, when Darkest Dungeon 3 comes out, they're not going to use AI to make it sound like him, and that's good. We don't need that. You don't need that shit. You don't need that shit. It's creepy and weird and sounds bad. And even if it fucking sounds good, it's still fucking ghoulish. It's goddamn ghoulish to do this stuff. So like, good. Don't do it. Happy to hear that, you know? Obviously, sorry. I'm certainly sorry for the loss, but like, god damn it. All right, so this goes in there, and then this goes this. We're working on the waist, by the way. I don't know if I said what this part is that we're doing here, but we're working on that waist. We got to get some more parts out here, and we'll do that next. But actually, what we'll do next is we're going to take a pause for the clause. This is my opportunity. If you're new, if you don't know, this is my opportunity to talk to you about ways that you can support the channel and what I do here. Everything I'm about to talk about is optional. You are under no obligation to do any of these things. But if you would like to help me out financially, you're more than welcome to. I'll try to make it as easy as possible for you to do so. First and foremost, if you are currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon, you can link with your Twitch account. You can use that token that you get for free for any stream. If you use it for me, that would be great. We are currently at 21 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 30. So if you want to become a subscriber, that would be cool. You could gift a sub to somebody in the community anonymously or take credit for it, be on the top of that leaderboard. That is another way to support me, is to help other people not see ads and get cool emotes. That's fun. There are other ways to support me. It's just that Twitch is probably the easiest, you know, and the cut I get from Twitch is pretty good. You know, it's pretty all right. Also, the cut I get from Patreon's not bad. I got a Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. Over on my Patreon, there is a $1, a $3, a $5, and, if you can believe it, a $10 tier. And there are different rewards for the different tiers. So if you wouldn't mind, you consider joining me on Patreon. That would be cool. My $3, $5, and $10 patrons are currently voting on what I do next Tuesday for my Tuesday bonus stream. And right now, watching old wrestling with y'all, me watching some old wrestling is currently winning the poll, you know. And if you were a $2, $3, or $5 tier patron, you could make that poll change. You could, you know, you could vote and bump up the numbers on there if you want to. You could. I have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBear. Over on my YouTube, subscribing is, of course, free, and I would love for you to subscribe if you wanted to. You could also become a member, and for just $2 a month, you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. I'll send you a message, and you get to see those on Tuesday instead of waiting for Wednesday like a sucker. You can see it even earlier, which is cool. I'm sorry, I just want to see. Oh, cool. My AdSense did update, and yeah, all right, I did okay for the month of April. Was not bad, which, considering that my numbers for my short numbers have kind of started to falter. That's good. We'll see how it goes next month. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, one of the great things about having a thing on the YouTube channel like that is just it is a way to throw some money my way and get something a little early, which is nice. Now, there are other ways to support me financially. Those are monthly ways. If you just want to throw something in the tip jar, you could do that. I've got a PayPal and I got a Ko-Fi. You can make a direct donation like that. Everything I make through YouTube, which includes AdSense, through Twitch and through Patreon, all goes into a fund. And from that fund, I pull money out to buy things like gear and to buy model kits. I just bought a Lego set. I just did that with some of the Patreon money. I got a nice Lego set that's coming in the mail. It is video game themed. I'll say that. I won't say anything more, but I'll say that. And when that arrives, if you're like, oh yeah, okay, that's cool, Pat, you'll know you might have had something to do with that by helping me out in one of those ways. Now, the kit I'm currently working on and the kits I worked on before this all came from DSHS, a friend of the stream. If you would like to buy something for me to build on stream, the easiest way to do that is to go to my Amazon wish list and buy something off that wish list. I've got model kits and Lego sets, inexpensive kits, very fucking expensive kits, all kinds of different things and things. There's a 3-in-1 Lego set that I put up not too long ago that is wild animals. It is a hummingbird, but that's a 3-in-1. So I build the hummingbird and then I would build the other things in the 3-in-1. There's a big, beautiful butterfly and then also a tropical fish. And I would be happy to build those. And that would be a neat little kit. If you wanted to buy that for me to build, you could do that. You could. My alternative to Amazon is I've wishlist on Throne. It is nice to have alternatives to Amazon. And of course, the most convoluted and complicated way to support me financially is to go to USA Gundam Store and buy a gift card. At USA Gundam Store, they will send you an email with gift card code. Then you can send me a whisper here on Twitch or a private message on Blue Sky or Mastodon with that gift card code. And then I will use that gift card code to buy something on USA Gundam Store. I'll do my best. But that is again another way to support me. If you don't want to spend any money and you still want to hang out and help out, you can join my Discord. Love to have you on the Discord. It's cool. Come hang out there. And then what was I gonna say? Couple video links for checkout. I will have a new episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club up on Monday. It will be one of the last videos I've recorded before my upgrade, where my background remover is working way better than it used to. So that's really nice. I love that. But I recorded that yesterday, that video yesterday. The new video will be up, but the most recent one that is up for people to watch, in case you missed it, is me talking about some weird manga. Talking about like manga with just strange premises, some of which are cool, some of which are like, what? What do you mean this is a manga about a half man, half chimpanzee that just goes to high school? What do you mean? And then also there are eco-terrorists that want to help him, but they're crazy. What are we talking about? That's a fucking anime that exists? And a manga? What? They made an anime based on that manga? Jesus. I talk about it in that video. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series where they're YouTube shorts in under a minute. I will tell you about a cool anime that I think you should check out. And in this case, the month of May, I'm talking about shonen, some of my favorite shonen anime, including the goddamn GOAT, Yu Yu Hakusho. One of the all-time greats. A phenomenal series top to bottom. Is all of the filler great? No. Some of the filler is good, though. It just fucking flows. Is Yusuke a good boy? Not really. He is a troubled youth with a heart of gold. Kuwabara is hilarious. Hiei is a villain throughout. Kurama is a soft, gentle boy until he is not. Until he is a murderous fox. It's real good. It's great. You should watch Yu Yu Hakusho if you haven't. Check out Ghost Detective. It's real good. And watch my 1 minute where I talk about it. Because I think it's a good little video. Okay. I'm going to talk about some anime. And before I do that, I do need to drink some water because I am parched. So I got to get some water in me. We got to get back to the overhead camera so we can continue to work on the waist of this kit. And we'll do all of that right now. All right. So let's first start talking about, while we work on this waist, let's start talking about an observation log of my fiance who calls herself a villainess, episode 6. So we're about halfway through the show because I don't think there's 13 episodes. So I would say we are halfway through the show now when this is done. If you haven't been watching this show, I'll give you a brief overview. Our main character is named Cecil. He is the crown prince of a country, and when he is young, he is introduced to his fiancée, who introduces herself as the villainess of this story. Like, literally, she's like, yeah, I'm the villainess, I died, and I know what's gonna happen, and I'm gonna fulfill my role, so there's a happy ending, and the story goes well. And our boy Cecil is just like, that's really interesting. You're the weirdest person I've ever met, but also you seem genuine. I don't know. Turns out she's like, if she's not telling the truth, she's at the very least aware of the future. She can predict things. And so he kind of feels elated to be with her and kind of keeps an eye on her as she goes through her weird stuff. Like surrounding herself with cronies that she would have had in the story, which she is very happy to have. Okay, so wait, what part goes? This goes like that. And also attempting to match up Hironia, who is definitely the main character of the Otome game, which Cecil does not enjoy. He does not enjoy that part of Bertia and her weirdness. So this is a isekai, but our main character really is, like our narrator and voice of reason, is just a guy that lives in this world. Also, it's pretty clear, they haven't like flat out said it, but we know this to be true. Hironia is also playing the Otome game, or is aware that she is embodying a character from an Otome game. But for her, she's not really good at like everything going her way. She's not really playing the character well, and also is very confused that like people really like Bertia and she's not really a villainess. She's just like trying to be the villainess, but kind of dumb and bad at it, and people really like her. Anyway, our last episode ended with Cecil finding out that Bertia has fallen down a flight of stairs, which obviously like concerns him greatly, and so that's where we left off the last episode. Now, turns out somebody with pink hair pushed her down. So Bertia was trying to keep it together. She does concede, okay, yeah, I got pushed. I don't know for sure if it was Hironia or not, but it was someone with pink hair, which wouldn't fit with her vision of who Hironia is, but would maybe fit with if that is another isekai person who was just like very frustrated. But Cecil is also like aware that like he's feeling feelings he hasn't felt. He's feeling rage. He's trying to like be a proper gentleman about all of this, but he is like worried for his fiance and also pissed off at what's happening here. And so he is at least feeling his emotions. I will say this little man, our little prince, is doing a better job than most characters in shows like this at like regulating his, like understanding his feelings and regulating them. So we support you, Cecil. Turns out the real perpetrator, not Hironia, it was a different person. Elin did this, and it turns out Elin is obsessed with Fannel Rhodes, who is someone that uh, is also in turn a big fan of Birdia, like a real lover of Birdia. And so apparently Elin disguised herself as Heronia, and was also the person that was destroying Birdia's belongings. And it seems like she was doing that in an attempt to get Birdia to respond, like, to be the villainess, in a sense, and like go after the heroine of the story, and then like basically ruin her life. Just trying to ruin her. And that obviously didn't work because Birdia was like fine with. Birdia was like whatever. I this is weird, but I don't care. I didn't care what was happening. Then we find out that Birdia's closet had a tracking chemical in it, so they could track her belongings when it got stolen, which feels like they were trying to catch a thief and a vandal, but like that feels weird that you didn't tell her you were doing that. Like, to me, I'm like, well, all right, that seems odd. Like, I don't know, maybe you should have let her in on that. And the chemical is on Island's shoes, but not on Heronia's shoes. So that is their like smoking gun on that. And then Heronia is just like, Heronia should have been like, oh, I'm vindicated about this. But Heronia is stuck in her mindset. She is stuck in the mindset of she is the maiden of destiny. She belongs to Cecil, and Cecilia is like, or Cecil, like, Birdia is still a monster. You still should be with me. And so Cecil's starting to think like, okay, do both of these girls know something that I don't know? Do they know some kind of like secret history? Is there some big reason why I have to marry her? Like, is there? And obviously we know the reason is because the story needs that to happen, or the story wants that to happen, not that it needs it. One of them wants the happy ending because she's the main character. The other one wants the happy ending because she wants the story to go the way the story is supposed to go. I apologize, folks. It's going to take me a little second here to figure out how this goes because it's like kind of weird. All right, so let me just take this out here. We want it like this. So I didn't have this right. So we want it like this, and we want the little. Do we want it like that? Do we want it like this? Okay, we want it like this. And then this has to slide like that? Or slide under. Sorry, everybody. Okay, slide under. No. Slide on top. I'm sorry, I don't know how this is supposed to go. No, yeah, that slides under. And these are on these. Okay, so if it goes like that, and then like this. Okay, I think this is how this is supposed to go. I think this is how this is supposed to go, and then there's another piece that goes on the top of it. And I'll probably know when I put this on here if I did this right or not. I think I've now done this correctly, but we'll see. We'll see if I do it right. So yeah, Cecil's just like, maybe there's an important reason. I don't know what's going on. And then Birdia fucking faints. Birdia faints in all of this, and turns out, even though she's kind of kept up appearances, she's been like really stressed and freaking out these last few weeks. We go forward 2 months later, and it is the cultural festival, because this is this anime. The world in this anime is based in an otome game, so of course there is a cultural festival. You gotta have a cultural festival, because that is how you can have characters interact and see what's going on. So you gotta have one of these. Let's see. Elin is apparently being tried for murder, because that the authorities have decided that she was attempting to murder her. So she is on, which is for one of these, feels like pretty high fucking stakes. But yeah, she's on trial for murder, for attempted murder, I should say. And then there is a student vote right now for best couple as part of the festival, which is again very otome like. The makers of this understand what is in otome games, and that would be in there. Birdia announces the results, and she is the most shocked of anyone. No one else is shocked, but she is shocked, because the results are some of the minor characters win third place. Basically, all of the supporting couples that she helped bring together get third and second place, and then she gets first place with Cecil, and she is very surprised that this happened. She was not expecting that. Despite everything that's happened, our girl is just like, wait, what? But even though this has happened, she still says that by graduation, she's got to get Heronia and Cecil together. That things will... and again, it could be, because of the way the story goes, they don't solve the big problem unless they're together. But it also still feels like maybe the only reason that she wants to do that is because she wants the story to go the way the story was written and doesn't want to rewrite the story. I'm still not convinced one way or to other. I still really like this show. I'm enjoying my time with it quite a bit. I would say if you like isekais where the main character doesn't seem to have any powers, it is just living their lives and doing their thing. There's still a time for Birdia to reveal some powers, but I don't think that's in the cards. I don't think that's what this show is going to do. Maybe there'll be the Deus Ex Machina at some point, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like it. And right now it's just fun. We are almost caught up on Always a Catch. I will get caught up by talking about episode 6 on Monday, but right now we'll talk about episode 5. If you have not been watching Always a Catch, it is the story of a girl who was supposed to be, she was supposed to do the unusual position of taking over her family and becoming the heir to the family, because there were no sons and the parents could not conceive. So she was like, all right, I'll do it. And then a miracle happened, and she got a little brother. And then her dad was like, well, you got to go get married. Sorry. But by that point, she was already older than other people that were, that had fiancé. So a lot of her options were not available. And then also, she has the problem of there were men that were trying to get close to her, but they were trying to get close to her because they wanted to take her position and run the family in her place, and they thought she was weak, and she's not weak. She's from a family of martial artists, so she would whoop all their asses. So she goes to another country to just see how she's going to study abroad to try to find a man, basically. And she gets her best friend, who is from that kingdom. She's engaged to the prince of the kingdom, Renato, and Renato tries to break up with his fiancée in order, and apparently so that he won't become the crown prince, and his younger brother, who is definitely in love with this girl, and that girl is in love with him, they can be together, and that's his big thing. So he's like, I'm gonna break up with her in front of people, and it'll cause a scandal, and it'll all work out. but he basically doesn't look at this girl, and he breaks his engagement off with Maria, who he is obviously not engaged to. But then they become engaged. They like fall in love, and they are engaged, and it's lovely. Right now, our girl Maria is traveling to go see her family back in her home country. She wasn't banished or anything. She just left to go find a husband, and she did. So now she's got to go and talk to her family. There are other characters, and if they come up, we'll talk about it. But anyway, she reaches the border town near her kingdom, and gets picked up by some manservants who I don't think we've been introduced to before, and I was very psyched to see these guys, and I hope they show up later, because the Duke estate has a lot of focuses on the martial arts. These are giant, big, muscular dudes named Joffredo and Machio, and I was like, oh, please, a spin-off. I bet the manga has like a whole bonus chapter just about these two dudes, because these dudes fucking whip ass. I was just like immediately on board. I was like, please tell me more about these gentlemen. We don't get a lot with them, but we do get a little bit with them. So they show up to pick her up. And apparently her father, even though they sent her out to get engaged, her father is mad that she is engaged. He's pissy. And all of her married sisters have come home to see her, because again, she was the one that wasn't going to get married. Everybody else went to go get married, and so everybody's like coming to the family. It's going to be a little family reunion of everybody, which does sound nice, but again, Dad's mad. So let's see. On the way home, they are stopped. Stopped by bandits, but Maria immediately recognizes, like, these don't look like fucking bandits. These look like farmers. What's going on here? What is this? And then they're like, you're a noble. We did this so that a noble would arrest us. Because they wanted to make a fuss, and they need to get out of the area. Basically, the daughter of the chief of their village was kidnapped, and the local count doesn't care and isn't doing anything about it. So they, I guess, hatched a scheme that they would get arrested and then like in another area and then plead their case. I don't know quite what their plan was. Or that they would get taken to the castle and then they could investigate. And they could ask the knight captain for help. Like, they're just like, we're just at our wits' end. We're doing whatever we can. Because again, this is just not gonna. This is not a good. They don't have a good plan, is what I'm saying. All right, we're done with this part here. So now we're gonna work on some of the side skirt parts, or the front skirt part. But again, we won't get too far in it, but we'll get some of that done tonight. So let's see. Okay. They're like, let's see. She gives them. She's like, okay, you go to the castle, you hand over this handkerchief. This will get you a meeting with the assistant of the prince, and hopefully that'll help you out, and then you'll be able to get this going, because this seems messed up. And she would interfere, but again, she's the crown princess, so she can't really directly do anything, and she's on her way to go see her dad. So they continue on, and then they run into real bandits. And then our girl, along with her muscle-bound attendant boys, they scare off the real bandits and chase them off. And she did promise that she would not cause any trouble, but she's like, well, whatever, I got attacked, that's okay. Because remember, our girl is very good at martial arts. She was trained to use martial arts, and she is tough and strong. Let's see. Also, she's like, hey, why don't you repair the carriage that these bandits attacked, and that'll hopefully put you in good graces, and it'll help you out there. It'll help you, like, she's like, I can't do more, but, if you're repairing this carriage that got attacked by these bandits, that might help your cause. And, we might see more about that in the future. And then it's on, and that's basically the whole episode. It ends with her on her way to her family's mansion, and the next episode, which aired this weekend, and again, I'll cover on Monday, and then I'll be fucking finally caught up on the show. The next episode will be more of her interacting with her family, I believe. Always a Catch is fun. She is a very fun character, Maria. The fact that she knows martial arts, and she's like very put together and very intelligent and very like dedicated, and it all makes sense. Everything makes sense because she was supposed to take over her family and be the heir, but then of course shit got weird, and so her relationship, we didn't really see it so much here with Ronaldo, is fun. That is a good relationship. I like their budding romance. The last episode, 2 episodes ago, was probably my favorite of this, where we were introduced to the Queen, and she was being really weird about everything, but it turns out she's just like forcing herself to be prim and proper, and in fact, she's a big fan of Maria's and was like fangirling about her, and she's stoked that it's going to be her daughter-in-law. And it was like, oh, that's sweet and fun. It's a fun little series. Also, there is definitely like stuff happening behind the scenes, because there was definitely attempt on the Queen's life. And so like there is other shit going on. There is a mysterious figure out and about. So we'll see if that becomes relevant. We have some time left on the stream here, so I would love to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? I always love hearing from you about those things and thanks. So if you want to write in the chat what you got going on, I would be happy to hear it. I will tell you that I've been playing a lot of Mixtape. I talked about it a bit earlier in the night. Mixtape is fucking awesome. I'm really enjoying my time with it. I could understand people who are like 20 years younger than me maybe not fucking vibing right with it. People who are 30 years younger than me, I don't know. I mean, like, if you're 26 or 25, 26, you at least have like nostalgia for the nostalgia that other people have, that kind of thing. Like you have a little bit of that maybe. But if you're like a 16-year-old, a 15-year-old, I don't know. I think Mixtape is fucking cool, but I think the soundtrack might be off-putting to some people. But for me, it is, for better or worse, fucking catnip. I have not finished the game. It's not that long of a game. There is more to it, and I will finish it at some point. But okay, what's going on here? Why is this like this? What am I doing wrong here? I'm doing something wrong with this piece. Okay, so there's a gap. It says the longer part, which is this part, is that. So this has to go in here, like this, I think. Yeah, okay. And then this goes like this. All right, I think I did it. But I'm really enjoying it. I recommend it. It's not, it's not a super expensive game. Again, it's not going to be a long game, but the vibes are really good. There's just a lot. It has a lot going for it, and I was really excited about it, and I want to finish it up tomorrow. I don't have any D&D or anything tomorrow with people, so I will have some time to play some games. And that is a game that I want to play. I did. I talked about, because I have my new graphics card. I did load up Nubby's Number Factory, which is a game that I really fucking love, because I thought that would be fun to get goof around in, and it is. Some of the high level effects, which I wouldn't include on stream because I think it wouldn't encode well, looked really fucking good. I was very pleased with how it looked. Again, I haven't really pushed this graphics card to its limit. I am excited. Oh, I should say this. This is a fucking one of the dorkiest things I've ever said. I look forward to encoding with this and rendering some videos and doing some edits and stuff like that. I look forward to seeing how this graphics card is going to help out my workflow. Which is obviously not a term I didn't want to say there, but it's the best term for that. I want to see how this works out when it comes to doing. Now, I try to avoid editing as much as possible. Whenever I can, I try to avoid that. But sometimes you just gotta edit. So, if you gotta edit, you gotta edit. Okay, so that goes like that, and then this does something. I don't know. It goes like this, maybe. Okay, that makes more sense if it goes like that. All right, now I'm starting to understand what this, how this is supposed to work here. But yeah, it was, I look forward to finding out. And then I did run a little bit of Fallout 4 with mods. I did my heavily modded Fallout 4. I did run that with ultra settings. Obviously, that's a fucking 10-year-old video game. That I have modded to look better, but it's still a fucking video game. It can only look so good. But I did, it's an old game, but I did try to make it look as good as it can, and we'll see how that works. Okay, so it's 10.7. This is going to go in like this. Oh, okay, it goes like that. And it's got some movement to it. Okay. There we go. Goes in there. We'll work on the other one. And again, folks, if you're playing any video games, watching any movies, watching any TV stuff that you want to tell me about, reading anything, listening to any music, feel free to let me know. I have been listening to the 2020 release from Bad Religion. I got that back in my head. It's been fucking years. Every once in a while, I go on a Bad Religion kick because it's sometimes very fucking formulaic, but I like the formula. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. I just like how it sounds. It's just. There is something somewhat comforting about those jams, and so I listened to a bit more of that yesterday and today. I did watch a wrestling show last night, Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling's Yes Wonderland, which actually happened on Monday, but I hadn't watched it, so because I just was waiting for the weekend to watch with friends. And so I watched that, and that was real fucking good. Did one of those. Congratulations to Dash Chisako. Announced that she is pregnant, and so she is taking a leave of absence from wrestling. We don't know if she's going to come back or not, but she's taking a break from the graps to focus on her upcoming child. And we wish her the goddamn best. Dash is fucking cool as hell. So good for her. A hardcore legend. It is a shame because her 20th anniversary of being a professional wrestler was going to be this summer. They were celebrating this summer, and she had a match lined up with Desperado, El Desperado, aka Despy, from New Japan, and that would have been fucking a kick-ass hardcore match. But obviously, that's not fucking happening now. It's reasonable and understandable that it is not. So, but he is still booked for the show, so they're gonna figure out something else to do with them. I mean, he is a well-known deathmatch wrestler, but also can wrestle lucha style, and he is fucking cool. So they can just put him in a tag with other people and do like an intergender tag, and it'll be fucking dope as hell. Because I don't see anyone else on that roster stepping up for a hardcore match, but I don't know. Lastbrook says, I burned through the first 2 seasons of Reacher, and it's still a fun show of adventure of an old, emotional, broken murder giant with an unshakable moral compass. Played a little bit more snap and grab and figured out the specific thing I was missing so I could steal that tiger. Doesn't that fucking feel good? I mean, look, that game, I am not saying that game does not have its frustrating elements, because it has its frustrating elements. But it is a game where when you fucking figure it out and you stick that goddamn landing, you feel like... Sometimes I feel like, oh, fuck you. And then but also a lot of times I'm like, hell yeah, I'm so fucking smart. And I think I feel smart more than I feel like that was arbitrary and my goofy method I was doing should have worked. But that I do feel that way. But then also, like I said, sometimes I just feel like, hell yeah, I'm the smartest man alive. I'm the greatest person that's ever lived. Nobody out there is doing it like I'm doing it. I got this. And that's a nice feeling. I played the playtest for Cozy Marbles, says Lord Crashington, and that's a pretty neat game where you build little courses for marbles, to roll through or some more racing-focused courses for some more competitive races. They don't have many of the more cool pieces unlocked, so what's there is pretty limited. Nice. I have not tried this yet, but I did download a free-to-play game that I think I will be streaming at the end of sometime this month. Sorry, I shouldn't have said free-to-play. It's not a free-to-play. I don't know why I said that. So forgive me. No, there is a early access was the word I was trying to do. I'm tired. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm tired. I'm saying things incorrectly. There's an early access game that I purchased that seems somewhat limited but silly and fun that I'll be playing later this month. And then there's a game coming out at the end of the month that I want to play that I will say the name of. I want to see the release date of that. Do You Even Forklift? Which was a game that I showed the demo of last summer. Yeah, in July, I added to my wish list. That's coming out the 28th of this month. So it will be out in time for me to stream it in the beginning of June. So actually not this end of this month. Unless I get code for it, and I could play it 2 days early. But I don't think it's going to happen. But I will play that when it is officially released. I have requested a code. I don't know if I'm going to get one. And I also don't know if they would let me play it early. But I am going to try that game out when available. Because it does seem neat and does seem like something that is right up my alley. I did like demo of Do You Even Forklift. So I want to try that out. I guess there's one other game that I could get. I've been really on the fence about Retro Rewind. I've been really on the fence about getting that. You own a rental store, a VHS rental store. People really seem to like it. It's like $20. I've been thinking about it. I don't know. But yeah, I like I said, I don't know. But the people who played it really like it. It's been out since March. I might check that shit out. I don't know. You know what? I'll tell you the name. You know what? Hey, I'll tell you the name of the video game that I'll be playing. Not on the 12th, but on the 19th. The 19th, I'm going to play Sledding Game. That's the name of it. Sledding Game has apparently sold 100,000 copies. It's in early access. I think it's like $5 right now because it's on sale. Let me see what the store page is. Yeah, it's $5. It's 38% off. And that ends by the time I stream the game. the sale will be over, so it'll be full price. But I got it for $5. You can make your own lobby and invite friends. You can join people, and it's just you're a little guy, and you ride in a circular sled that you can make appear and disappear, and you can do tricks. And I haven't figured out how to like air control, if there is even air control. But also, there's apparently crafting and customization, and I haven't tried any of that. But it seems cute and fun, and you can like unlock stuff, and there's stuff. I don't know if you can pay real money. I don't think you can, but I think you earn points, and you can spend those points on objects, which does seem like it might be cool. Again, I don't know, but I'm gonna try that. Yes, I know the Nextlander guys really like the video rental game, and apparently in a future update they are going to add in video game rentals, and you can like put music. There's some mod stuff where you can like change the box art. I probably wouldn't do that mod, but I might change what plays on the TVs and put some wrestling on there, you know, because if I owned a rental store, it would be showing wrestling all the time, because that's who I am. I know that about me. All right, I need F18. I know that if I owned a rental store and had TVs, it would show anime and wrestling. It would be stuff that I'm renting, though. I would make sure that it's stuff that I'm actually also renting out, and I'm not just watching like Netflix or whatever. Anime on Crunchyroll, but like I would definitely be running anime and wrestling on those TVs. So I don't know if I'm going to pick up that game. I've been thinking about it. Damn, Pat, you think you know someone? I know, right? Shocking, Lord Crashton. I really broke your goddamn brain about that when it was discovered that's what I would show. I also tomorrow need to start working on. I have a bunch of stuff pulled to run for Pat Watches Wrestling, which again most likely is going to win the poll. If it doesn't win the poll, I'll just probably do it later in the month. But I think it's going to win the poll, and so I probably need to get. I have some stuff together for Pat Watches Wrestling, some old wrestling stuff, but I don't have enough of it right now. I got to go in to the archives of stuff and pull some things. I want to see. I haven't looked at. I have not looked at one of the Google Drives that I belong to that uploads a bunch of old stuff. I want to see. I haven't looked at them in a while, so I want to see what new, and by new I mean new to them stuff they've added recently. Because if they've added something that would be good to show, like that's always a good resource, is to pull that stuff. We'll see. Let's see. Last person, I don't know if I'm going to do a full playthrough, but there's a new decompilation of Twilight Princess out called Dusk that has a lot of improvements built in. I have heard about that. Yeah, I don't know if that's something that I would personally want to do. But what that is, those things are neat. Like I'm not gonna like pretend like that shit isn't neat and doesn't pique my interest, but I don't know if that's necessarily something that I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta get in on that. All right, let's see if I can get this. This is one of the skirt pieces here, and I gotta get. I think I did this right. That feels right, yeah. There's just some separation because it can open, which is cool. But I think I've done this properly. Oh, there's a little nub in here that I can get off. Take that off there. Great. Again, I'm not like... I'll be more confident with the other one. You know how it is. You know how it'd be. I'll be more confident when I do the other side because I've done this. I didn't necessarily think we were going to get body complete tonight. I know we'll be body complete other than the backpack. Like, when we get the backpack. Other than the pieces we don't have yet, like, I think we're going to get body complete on this kit on Monday's stream. And I'm excited about that. I've really loved this, but, like, I know we have another stream of this stuff, another, maybe a full stream of all of these parts, and then at least one full stream of the B-Pack backpack and the stands. Like, we've got easy 3 streams left, if not 4 streams left of this. It's just a very involved kit, which again, I very much enjoyed. I am not trying to say like, oh, I'm sick of this kit. I do think that the poll I put up for my $10 patrons, who they didn't get a lot of polls in April because of this stuff. I think I'm gonna just probably, I have 2 Lego sets, and I think I'm just gonna put both Lego sets up for vote. I have 2 Lego sets and a Blockies kit, because the Blockies kits are really easy to put together, and it's because I think I just want like either a very easy model kit to build next, or I want like a fun Lego set, just like something, because I'll have like a some lighter options, and so I think I'll do that and not put a Gundam or a Gunpla, either like I said, either a fairly simple to put together Blockies Transformers kit, or something that is like, got a little more going on. Okay. Oh, so this is the front? No, this is the back. Yeah, this is the front. This is going to go on the back, and there's a connector to put that on. Okay. I was going to say, it's like, this can't be the back of this kit. This has got to be the back of the kit, because it's got the port hole. The hole to connect to a stand is back here, instead of being under here, which is fine. Like, what? Okay. But yeah, it's got a little flap there to cover it up. Good bit. I think I'm going to wrap up there, though. We did get a lot done. We are not body complete on this, but we are getting there. We got the legs done. We've got some of the waist done here. There's still a connector that's going to this eventually, after I'm done with it, and then also that connects to that. But we've got a lot done on this kit, and I am happy with our progress. Like I said, this is an involved kit, and we still haven't done the fucking giant backpack bullshit. But we're getting there. We're on our way. I hope you enjoy yourselves tonight. I hope you had a good time on the stream. The few, but the proud. Now, our time together has come to an end. Well, this is not the end of the evening, because we have to go on a raid. We got to go find some cool people who are doing cool stuff and go hang out with them. It's paramount that we do that. So we are going to go on a raid. Let's see, who should we go and raid tonight, folks? Let's see who's out there, who's doing stuff. Oh, we're going to go raid my girl Ra-Ra. I didn't know that Vectroid was doing some stuff. Ra-Ra is doing more weird nonsense in Roblox. It is a cam stream, one of the rarest things you will see for Ra-Ra. It is not a VTuber stream. It is a webcam stream, and also the overhead camera reveals her insane nonsense setup. You can see all of the monitors and laptops and nonsense. So it is you got a real good cockpit view of Ra-Ra's goddamn setup. So let's go raid my friend Vectroid and see what's going on with Vectroid. I hope you come along on this raid. I hope that Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern, you will join me for more model kit assembly and conversation, because it'll be fun, and we'll get body complete on this kit, and maybe start working on some clear parts. I don't know, but it'll be a good time. So come back on Monday. I'll see you soon. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.